the motherfucking legend, Ray Fisher. All right?
Whoa. You know, it would have been better if you transitioned to Aquaman off of that, but okay.
No. Because, like, here's the thing. Jason Momoa, amazing guy.
Yeah.
Has fully supported Zack Snyder from day one. I talked about it in a stream I did last week, but do you know when Aquaman was cast as Aquaman?
When?
In 2013, only months after
really?
Yeah. 2013, only months after Man of Steel had released.
Oh, shit. I remember this. Do you remember that, like, this is ancient history now. It was, like, fucking 8 years ago when they released that, like, single poster, and it's, like, Unite the Seven, and it's Jason Momoa.
But that was far after. That was like 2015
Really?
or 16. Yeah,
Really?
Yeah. He was cast way earlier than that because after Man of Steel hits, Zack Snyder's like brainstorming, like, okay, where do I take Batman or Superman?
That was not 2016 because that was before I met you.
It had to be 2015.
Okay, but no, I remember I saw that
Right.
before I met you.
Okay.
So it had to be.
We met in 2014 though. So
it was
okay.
2013.
Okay,
Go
okay.
fuck yourself.
Wait. All right, Jesus.
I knew
carried
I
a
was
conversation. Right. I'm looking up this live. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna feel so fucking good about myself when you are wrong about this information. I know that you're wrong because I remember looking at this with Rob Copter fucking a billion years ago, back when he still existed. Okay, that's how I know you're wrong. You were not, at least I don't think you were around at that time. But regardless, I know you're wrong right now.
2015. Back in 2015, Zack Snyder promised that his Justice League would unite to 7 when he posted that picture.
Go fuck yourself.
Okay, so the reason why I bring all this up is back when Zack Snyder finished his Man of Steel, he was like, where do I take Batman versus Superman, right? Where do I take the sequel? And he knew, like, I've got to open Pandora's box, right? Because he was thinking, after Man of Steel, the most logical conclusion is Bruce Wayne opening up a box of kryptonite. That's just what you do after Man of Steel.
Right.
And from there, it just spirals. Because once you have Batman, you have Wonder Woman, you have Aquaman. So he auditioned Aquaman, Jason Momoa, as fucking Bruce Wayne originally.
Right.
That's what he auditioned for. But he called him back. Like, hey, you are perfect for
Aquaman.
For Aquaman. So it's like September of like 2013.
You're telling me there's a universe where Jason Momoa was fucking Batman?
Bruce Wayne, yeah.
God damn it. Can we go back to that?
Ben Affleck was Aquaman.
Oh my god, that would be legendary.
All right.
Whatever happened to you, you have gifts now.
Everything breaks, Victor.
I can't wait to see what you can be
In the
tomorrow.
world of ones and zeros, you are the absolute master.
These boxes will get inside you and find your weaknesses and your fears.
Take your place among the brave.
That's cinema right there. I mean, let's go back to that.
Inside you.
Going from Victor to, you know, the
Damn.
proverbial monster within his own self.
Yeah.
Amazing. But just to go back to like the last thing we were talking about with like, when did Unite the 7 come out? All right, so I was right. It's 2015. But we didn't start conversing until I want to say like March. And that picture came out in February.
There you go.
Yeah, so you know, memory. It's a funny thing, but this shot so fucking good.
Take your place among the brave ones.
Sick. Whoa.
And I'm not alone.
I love that. Not broken, not alone.
I love that helm. That shit's sick.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I guess like Zach just has like this eye for like when you're doing a cyborg costume or designer, and like you're finding like Steppenwolf, but you have like this flesh like open spot. You know what I mean? I feel like having a shield come down because you don't need it to see because you got the robotness. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
But I feel like the most important part of this Cyborg teaser is when you have characters like Cyborg or anyone with like robotics, right? It's really easy to get lost in the Swiss Army knife. They can just do anything and they feel not human. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I feel like what we're seeing in these trailers and what we've heard about the movie, you get to know Victor Stone, not, you know, the fucking machine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's kind of what was really lacking in the Justice League, is that it felt like Victor wasn't a character.
Yeah.
Like, he was just kind of snubbed. He just was there.
Yeah.
To be there.
I feel like second to only like Zack Snyder in terms of like what happened with his daughter stepping away, and then a systematic just dismantling of his entire work. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing: is just like people have said about the Snyder Cut movement, like you guys are just bitching about someone not getting the movie their way, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing about a movie is we're talking about is like Zack Snyder, someone who basically like put, you know, like almost a decade into this movie. You know what I mean? That's a decade of time he will never get back. And he put it all into, you know, the eventual Justice League movie.
Mm-hmm.
And to just have someone, especially in that situation where his daughter died, and you go in and you just fucking rip everything apart, like,
Yeah.
so disrespectful, dude.
Absolutely.
The art and the artist are so intrinsically tied. You know what I mean? I mean, that's what we were talking about with like 300, where it's like, it's really hard for me to like see something like 300 and not see the man behind it. You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely.
But second with him is what happened with Ray Fisher. I mean, I feel like this release of the Snyder Cut is like even more so a show of like Ray Fisher and his struggle. You know, what happened with Justice League.
It's almost like it's kind of like justice for Ray Fisher, who got completely fucking scrapped after Zack Snyder left. And the mistreatment that he suffered as a result of that, just, it really, like, it's kind of like bringing it all home and saying, like, you know, we can't change what happened, but here's, like, what you deserved.
Yeah, and he's someone who, like, Jason Momoa saw the Snyder Cut in its rawest form, right? The finished movie that was at home with Zack Snyder, he showed it privately to Jason Momoa. And it didn't have, like, the finished VFX for, like, Cyborg, but it had the full story. Every scene was shot. It just didn't have the, like, the magic, right? And Ray Fisher is someone who actually waited till yesterday to watch the full complete version so he could actually see, you know, Cyborg come to life. Someone like Jason Momoa, like, all his scenes are like there in their purest form because he's an actor, just, you know, with his body, versus Ray Fisher, who is acting, but, you know, everything around him has to be finished in post. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like the Snyder Cut movement, like you said, it just as much as with like Zack Snyder is like, you know, it's vindication for him as well, right? Because the story of the Snyder Cut is a story of Zack Snyder stepping away. We know that, but like, what happens once, you know, the head is gone, right? Who's the new head? And what Joss Whedon did, like right off the bat, is incredibly disrespectful. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And it was something where I think he has spoken out the most. Wonder Woman's spoken out a little bit, but like what went on behind the scenes, you know what I mean, with Cyborg and with all the actors in general, you know what I mean? And he was definitely someone, at least from what we've heard from him, that we know like he was pushing back against it. So you almost have like this daily battle of him coming into work and being like told, okay, so we've cut every scene of yours from the movie except for the rooftop scene of Commissioner Gordon. Everything is cut, and we're gonna refilm everything, right?
Yeah.
And now this is Joss Whedon, like twice as old as fucking Ray Fisher, twice as white. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And he's like, okay, I know you like helped Zach write this character's story and perspective. I'm gonna come in and just rewrite your existence. You know what I mean?
So, like, the whole point of having like Ray Fisher kind of be a voice in the story of Cyborg is that there are experiences that he can relate to, that like he can, it's like, this is the point of like sensitivity writers, you know, is that you can touch your blind spots. There are areas, not everyone's going to be an expert in every field, especially if you haven't lived those experiences. The same way that I would expect someone who's writing a movie about like rocket science to bring someone who is a professional
yeah,
in that field. If
Um,
you have that experience, it's intelligent to, you know, cover your blind spots because you're not an expert.
Yeah, it's like Nolan bringing in astrophysicists for Interstellar, right? And that's something that Zack Snyder did was when he was, you know, writing the story of Justice League with Chris Terrio, he was like meeting with Ray Fisher and like giving him the opportunity to like make notes, make changes, and be like, okay, you have this scene where I'm with my mom and dad, but it's written this way. I think it should be this way. And that was something
Right.
where when Joss Whedon comes in, he's just like, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't even take notes from Robert Downey Jr. What makes I'm known to take any notes from someone who hasn't been in film, television, or, you know, just Broadway, right? And that's the difference between him and Zack Snyder is
Yeah.
listening to that someone just because he knows it is his blind spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And I feel like by this movie being released, and this is not absolving Warner Bros. Of anything. I mean, they are
No.
to this day still trying to cover all of their asses, and really just kind of trying to push it off onto Joss Whedon, which is not. And I'll make that clear right now. That is every producer from John Berg, Jeff Johns, every person who, you know, not only hired Joss Whedon to come in and be in control, but also allowed it to keep going, right? This was a refilming of an entire movie, right? Because you
Yeah.
have 4 hours, cut down to 20, and then refilmed another entire movie. And continually, Ray Fisher would come forward and be like, hey, he's changing the lighting and telling people to like make me look whiter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's calling Diana Natasha. He's bitching about his experience in the Marvel movies not being taken seriously enough. Like something needs to be done, and they did nothing. You know what I mean? So this Snyder Cut is not. Someone on Twitter. Let's bring it back to what we were saying earlier. Someone on Twitter said this is what happens when you cave into terrorist demands.
Terrorist demands.
Yeah, comparing us to fucking ISIS. You know what I mean? Or fucking QAnon. You know what I mean?
Oh God.
No, this is about like, you know, people being vindicated and, you know, justice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Let's go on to the next one. The one who was a little bit more about Joss Whedon. So he literally, like, he makes Age of Ultron. Bad movie.
Bad movie.
Has a scene in there where fucking Black Widow pulls Hulk on top of her bosoms. And yeah, he's on the counter and she pulls him down and he falls on top.
I don't remember that, but I'm so glad I don't.
Yeah, I just saw a clip of it.
Is it Hulk or Bruce?
Bruce Banner.
Okay, Bruce. Okay.
Yeah, Bruce Banner, Hulk, yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to be sure.
Right. So you were thinking I was talking about Justice League, weren't you? Bruce.
Yeah.
No. So in Justice League, it's Flash, and in,
Yeah, I remember that
okay.
scene.
Okay, cool. We're on the same page. Yeah, it's Ultron shooting everywhere. Bruce Banner's on top of the counter about to be shot. She pulls him off. He falls onto the bosoms. Bad scene. Criticized endlessly, rightly so.
Yeah.
And he really, you know, there's a difference between like Zack Snyder, who is just like, you know, a lot of my shit can be taken multiple different ways, so I better myself as I go in my career, right? Versus the virgin Joss Whedon, who's just like, they don't understand my genius. I'm gonna put it in Justice League just to fuck with everyone, and
So stupid.
and that's where we come to Wonder Woman, because she saw this and literally referred in the script as Natasha, and she's just like, no, I'm not doing this. So they had to do it with a fucking stunt double. But let's see how the Chad Zack Snyder frames Wonder Woman.
Evil does not sleep. It waits.
Something is coming.
Back to the Dark Ages. The devil and his army. And now
The world is broken.
this is the only way.
I watched your island burn.
Show him your fear!
They said the age of heroes would never come again.
Don't engage alone.
We do this together.
I don't think we've seen the blue-eyed.
We did. Oh my God,
Well,
we
I
did.
didn't. All right.
Oh
so-
no, we did. I mean, I'm saying the Joss Whedon CGI blue-eyed version we saw. I don't think you might not have seen this.
No,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
But I'm saying we saw it in Justice League, Joss Whedon. It was just it was that granny design. You know what I mean? But let's talk about Wonder Woman in this movie because me particularly, when I see Wonder Woman standing there with the all black, looks like a funeral, holding the arrow, the message she got from her mom. I like, and you hear the dialogue. I watched your island burn. I'm like, holy shit. You know, it was very glossed over and very sanitized in the Joss Whedon version. I'm wondering just how many of people she knew are just slaughtered. You know what I
I
mean?
wonder if they're gonna get the Thor in Infinity War treatment of like literally half of your people are gonna be slaughtered at the start of the movie or something. Maybe not at the start, but you know what I mean.
Definitely not the start.
I wonder if that's gonna be like where the story takes her. Like maybe the Amazonians are gonna be like wiped off almost completely.
Yeah, that's the thing about maybe that's where moving from this movie forward, she returns to the Amazons and like gets back in touch with that because she's been away for 100 years, right?
Yeah.
That's what I loved about Wonder Woman 1984 is it doesn't differ from the Zack Snyder, right? They go back to Themyscira, but it's a flashback. You know what I mean? And that way you're able to like narratively contextualize an experience of Diana's without having her go back in 1984. You know what I mean? Because I feel like what we're going to get here is a narrative consequence that Marvel and WandaVision could never even dream of. I think we're going to have a Diana who was told like, okay, you're leaving in World War One. If you leave, you won't be able to come back. And she doesn't. And I feel like by the time she's like still hasn't come back, Steppenwolf goes in and just fucking wrecks shop. And that's gonna live with her, and you see it. You see it, dude. You don't see that in WandaVision.
that pain.
Yep.
Yeah, of losing everything.
Yeah. And in terms of like wardrobe, that like black dress or suit almost like that black costume compared to that white one she's wearing earlier in the film when she gets the message. I mean, visual storytelling, Jesus. This is, Joss Whedon and racism, man. All right, so you've got Wonder Woman from Israel. The most white of all these characters. That's the one fucking Joss Whedon keeps. And in the actual Joss Whedon version, he removes Polynesian fucking Jason Momoa. And Ray Fisher just zoop.
Yep.
Like, why? Why do you do this? You know what I mean? Like, okay, we're not asking you, Joss Whedon, to add more people of color. Just stop taking them out. You know what I mean?
Fucking true.
Yeah, we're not asking you to like wokeify Justice League. We're just asking you to not like white supremacy it. You know what I mean?
Dude, so crazy. This scene.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. You want to move on to the Flash, Jesus?
Flash slash Aquaman.
You right.
I want you to listen to me, Barry, because I mean this.
I'm putting together a team, people with special abilities.
You can be whatever you want to be.
Fuck
I
outta here.
can't sit here and wait. Listen to me, Barry, because I mean this.
I'm putting together a team, people with special abilities.
You can be whatever
Oh
you want.
shit.
Feet shot.
I can't sit here and watch you run in place.
You'll have to run faster than you've ever attempted.
I love the like the care he has to put into moving someone. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? To not, and it's more than just a like Fox X-Men puts the hand behind the head so you don't get whiplash, and then I run with you super fast. Like he's like just like trying to like he's moving the person around the event. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And I love that, like his shoes exploding the way that they do. That's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Such a
And
neat little detail.
stark contrast to Joss Whedon, right? Okay, so we have the scene of Flash falling on top of Wonder Woman because he's like inexperienced. The Chad Zack Snyder, however, when using super speed involving a female, Flash takes every precaution to handle her with the utmost care and not inappropriately fall into her tits. This is a scene that Joss Whedon removes and then adds the other one. It's
I
almost
don't
deliberate.
It's so weird, man. I don't get it.
I'm not connecting.
Why do people?
I'm not connecting conspiracy theories. These are just facts. No printer, just facts. This is literally you have a very tastefully done scene removed, and a very inappropriate scene added.
Yep.
What the fuck? You know what I mean? But let's finish this.
You're brilliant, man. Absolute best of the best. Make your own future, your own future. Make your own past, make your own past. It's all right now.
Damn. Oh.
We'll get there. We'll get there to the king. We'll get there to the King Momoa. But that is my favorite part of the Flash trailer right there. Make your own past. Make your own future. It's all right now. And the way I interpret that trailer is when he is running and you see the lightning bolts shooting back at the lights, it's not like a Shazam charging the cell phone or charging the ATM. I think when he is running, you are actively seeing time reverse and seeing destroyed lamps go back up.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I wonder if that's how it's gonna be, but that would be really fucking cool. Any thoughts on Flash besides just shitting on Joss Whedon?
I really appreciate all of the little, like, the way that his, like, feet maneuver around the floor, the way that the floor, like, breaks out from under him. There's so much power in the motion, because I think one of the biggest flaws with speedsters, and this has always been a problem in every property that's ever tried to touch them, is that they don't take the time and the care to really show you how much power someone who can move that quickly really has. This is something that even The Boys fails at it. In, like, season 1, you'll have, like, a character as fast as A-Train. Yeah, it's like he gets taken out sometimes in ridiculous ways. Like, for instance, you'll have Starlight, and she'll shoot out her little rays of light, and it's like they're trying to make it seem cool where he's maneuvering around them, but it's like, why just run straight at her? It's like it's a straight line. Like, there are little things like that. Like, and The Boys does it one of the best. I think A-Train's a fantastic, like,
I love the heart condition that like sort of like, you know, fatal flaw, but
sure. And then the way that he, like, literally makes a woman explode by running through her, that's, like, great. But if you look at even, like, Quicksilver, there's no impact to the fact that he moves that quickly. There's no, like, oomph. Even though, like, being that fast is, like, the most powerful thing in the fucking world. You, like, I don't know if there's any power truly as powerful as being able to move as fast as the Flash does. Even as powerful as Superman is. Although, in Justice League, he is faster than the Flash, so maybe that's a whole other thing. But, like, that is, like, an insane power.
Right. The power we're seeing of the Flash in these teasers, and I think that scene in Justice League that you're speaking of, I think that's still in the movie. I think it's just showing that Superman has, like, a more he's closer to Flash, not if not faster, but because the way Superman looks in that shot, you can see it, like, he actually looks like a human being and not a monster with the CGI lips. So I think that is Snyder. But I think you really see with the Flash that the reason why he is just so, like, god tier above, like, Wonder Woman and Superman. He is literally faster than existence himself.
Yeah.
And I think hearing his father talk about, like, I need you to move on. I think that's so tragic, right? I love this story that we see of Flash and his dad, because when you have someone with this godlike ability of super speed, but he can't change the flawed justice system, right? His father was wrongly framed for murder for his mother, and there's nothing he can do with all his power to change that.
Exactly.
Yeah.